You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into...
The cool part about it is that, like, you actually get to kill people.
Oh, you're talking about Among Us still?
You get to kill people?
Yeah, so you're an imposter.
But in Werewolf, you do get to kill people if you do more. If you do more rounds.
That's true. Like we played we usually play One Night Werewolf.
Yeah,
which is just a quick one and done. But yeah,
That
it's really
does sound
cool. And it's a
fun.
free. It's a free mobile game, or you can buy it on Steam for like $5 or whatever. But I mean, it's free if you play on your phone.
Yeah, it looks fun. I'll probably cut out most of this. The people don't need the explanation of Among Us, but free promo for it from Tim.
This episode of Film Runners is sponsored by Among Us.
Tim, who hasn't played it, has only seen other people play it, but you approve. All right, so welcome to Film Runners. We're the podcast where we choose a film at least one host hasn't seen, and then we talk about it, I guess. And I'm Michael, and this is Insha and Tim.
Hi, I'm Tim.
Hi, I'm Tim. You sounded
The
like
giggling girl in the background is Insha.
Hi.
when you said "Hi, I'm Tim." It sounded like the beginning of like your Real Housewives intro. Hi, I'm Tim.
Hi, I'm Tim, and I have a Pomeranian that sits in my Gucci bag.
No, you don't.
Tim, you're not Paris Hilton.
No, you don't describe what makes you rich. You say something sassy about being rich or about being a bitch to people.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I like mimosas and Insha's a bitch.
Yeah, that
no.
works.
No. So this is the second episode of our spooktacular episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Halloween season is among us. I'm sure we're well into October now.
Yeah.
I'm sure both of you have been enjoying the spooky season.
I've had like 8 pumpkin spice lattes so far. It has been so scary.
Those are rookie numbers. You could up those numbers.
Speaking of spooky, this episode of Film Runners is sponsored by Enamory.com. They have some cool Halloween prints that you can buy right now. Spooky bats, spooky skulls, spooky pumpkins. From creative couple Ashley King and Aaron Samby. Use Runner Send at checkout for 10% off some spooky prints.
Didn't Ashley just do... She did a Frankenstein and the Mummy, right?
Oh yeah, she painted those as well. So
Yeah.
they might be up on the website when you listen to this.
Yeah.
The prints are definitely up now, though.
Yeah, it's enamory.com, ENAMORY.com.
All right, so back to the spooky... Oh, sorry.
Jesus, cut me off immediately.
Oh, man.
No, let's get... You're so excited about the spookiness. Tim's
okay.
champing at the bit. Champing at the bit. He can't wait to discuss it.
Let's get this over with. So
we gave you a much-deserved holiday last week because we know you'll faint at the slightest even mention of a possible scare. so Insha and I flew solo last week, a year ago. So this is your first of 4 spooky ones you're gonna do.
Yeah, and let's get the record straight. I hate scary movies. There's no fun in being scared. I do not like them. I do not want to seek them out. There is no... A spooky movie isn't in my top 500 films that I like to watch.
There is fun in being scared. Tim, haunted houses exist, roller coasters exist. Like, lots of people love getting scared.
You know who doesn't? The Tims of this world do not like getting scared.
Yeah, and that says volumes. I'm not quite the volume you expect.
So here we are with the Queen of Horror, Insha. What did you pick for us this week, Insha?
I picked Evil Dead, but it's the 2013 Evil
But
Dead.
wait, record scratch.
And Tim didn't.
Of course, I'm
Yeah,
not going to
shock
see
me.
any of these fucking movies.
Well, you are going to see them. It's in your contract. You just haven't seen them prior. Except one of them. Except one of them you will have, because you have to choose one.
That's right.
You could choose one you haven't seen at all.
Or we could just skip over you and just like have me and Michael choose like four.
No. It's against the rules. It's
It
also
is.
in the contract that I get every third movie.
Well, that's not true, though. Because that would have been fucked up by us doing Halloween 3.
Oh, we better have two picks.
Oh, then I'll see
get-
you in court. You son of a bitch. You
I
better
get two
lawyer
Christmas
up, asshole.
movies.
I wish I
I
had
get
used
two
that.
Memphis Christmas movie picks in compensation.
No, we're not doing Christmas theme.
No, we're definitely. I'm picking a Christmas movie.
You can, but we're not doing it as like a monthly theme. There's
Really?
so few good. No, there's so few good Christmas movies.
Oh, I wasn't gonna pick a good one.
Then we're definitely not.
Then I pick like a Hallmark
Oh,
one.
100%.
No, you're not.
Well, we'll get to those. We're months away for me to talk you into this.
You're not gonna talk me into it. The objective isn't to make people watch bad movies. And yet, we'll find out whether Insha did just that. So, I had seen it. Tim had not. Whose opinion would you like first, Insha?
It's a card.
Oh, my ride's here.
I guess yours, Michael's, since I know Tim's gonna like tear it apart.
Yeah, so I had seen this before. I think 2 or 3 times. This might be my 3rd or 4th time seeing it. And actually, I wasn't a huge fan the very first time I saw it. I was like, oh, that's okay. And every time since then, I've enjoyed it more and more, and I think it's great. I really like it. And I'll get into... I think I figured out why it put me off a bit at the first time I watched it. But overall, I think it's really good.
Tim?
Overall, I did not like this movie.
Shocker.
It got over the spookiness threshold to me where I was just not having a good time. But I will say that I have seen all of the original Evil Dead movies, so 1, 2, and Army of Darkness, and I really appreciate it. Like those movies, Evil Dead, the first Evil Dead one is like an attempt at a scary movie, but it's like a B movie, so it's not scary at all, and it's terrible. Evil Dead 2.
Okay, no.
Well, hold on.
Oh no.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
no, we'll get into it because I actually
right.
I do want to talk about like how.
Just
Yeah.
remind me to tear his shit apart here. Hold
All
on.
right, that's fine.
Go for it.
Okay.
And then Evil Dead 2 is a funny spoof on the first one, right?
No.
all agree with that?
Oh my god, no.
Okay.
Keep going, keep
Michael,
going.
calm
keep
down.
Going, keep going.
So I was going to say that this is a good remake of trying to make a very scary movie with the same story, and I appreciated what they were able to make with that.
It's very diplomatic of you.
No, watching it the whole time, I was like, oh, well, that's neat that they did this. and they did
Whoa,
this,
you
and they
watched
did
it the whole time?
Well, no, I didn't watch it the whole time. Half the time, my eyes were in my armpit trying to.
What? wait, what? How in the good Christ do you contort your body to make your eyes in your armpit?
It's like a dab, like where you put your head down into
Oh
your
man.
because you're so scared at seeing what's on the screen.
I've never been so scared I've dabbed before.
Welcome to my shoes, buddy.
Welcome to my shoes. Alright.
All right, let's hear your rebuttal to this because I think
No.
I got
Let's hear
everything else.
Inch's thoughts.
Oh wait, Inch. Yeah, we got to hear Inch's thoughts, and Inch still has to give a plot summary.
Well, first, I love this movie so much. I think it's a great combination of all three movies that kind of doesn't. It nails down the plot of all three movies kind of in a perfectly cohesive way that makes you understand what those originals were about, but still kind of plays with it and does a lot of weird shit to it, like make it gory and also give every character an actual thing to do. Yeah, overall, like this is like one of my actually like top 5 favorite movies because I love it so much. For a summary, so a group of friends go to their parents' cabin that's like been broken into, ramshacked, and dead cats are down in the basement.
Yeah, let's say it before you go too far into this. Whose cabin was it? Because, and you said it was their. Is it actually their parents?
Because
I
like
think
she,
so.
yeah, she mentions like mom would be really upset if she saw the state of the cabin now.
And at the
So then
end, there are like photos on the wall. Remember when he goes to take one off to like leave?
Yeah, I got that, but then
Yeah.
like, why were the people there in like the cold open?
I think that was probably like an Airbnb type of situation.
No, I don't think it was an Airbnb situation. I think it was just because it's a cabin in the wood. Like it's in a shitty state, so people just used it. You know.
All right, sorry, go on.
So they go to their parents' cabin to fix or kind of help Mia's drug addiction. And one of the friends stupidly reads from a book wrapped in flesh, but then it also is wrapped in a black bag and barbed wire. And everything starts to go to hell after that. First 3 Evil Dead movies. So good.
It's a classic Evil Dead scenario. There's not, I mean, other than the like little nitty gritty moments that happen, it's a pretty straightforward cabin in the woods story. Yeah.
You should go into your rebuttal now. Like, for...
I can't. I mean, I'm over it by this point. He's just wrong. Like you're just wrong, Tim.
Okay,
The first, the Evil Dead. What?
go for it. Evil
Yeah.
Dead 1. Evil Dead 1 is not a great movie.
It is.
What?
And also,
It's like a B movie
It's
that
a
Yes,
B
yes,
movie, but
yes.
it's great.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
not a
well,
quality judgment.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say is that like you're right. Like I
no,
like
that isn't what
the
you
first...
said though. You said it
No,
was
but
terrible.
No, I like Evil Dead 1.
I
But it's like
wrote
a
down
bad
your
movie.
direct quote. You said it's terrible.
Evil Dead, the first Evil Dead 1 is like an attempt at a scary movie, but it's like a B movie, so it's not scary at all, and it's terrible. You can, I'm sure you'll put it in here, but it is like it's a B movie. Like it's not.
It is a B movie. Yeah.
That's the point.
That's what I meant, but yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like that's the point, and that's what I was saying. It's like a terrible movie. I don't mean like
No.
terrible as in-
So here's the thing. How is terrible not a quality judgment? I agree with you that it is a B movie because it is a B movie, but then you
Right.
go on to elaborate and say it's terrible, and that's a quality judgment, and that's where I disagree.
Oh no.
Like, why do you like bad stuff? Like, if you think it's terrible, but you also said you love it, why?
But like, because there's a endearing quality about it. Just because it's, I mean, things can be bad, but people like things that are bad. Lots of people like cilantro.
No,
love
that's
cilantro.
silly. No, if I like it, it's good. If it was bad, I wouldn't like it.
No, people like bad things all the time. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
I understand him in a way to say, I like Herschel Gordon Lewis movies. They're awful. They're pretty bad. But at the same exact time, I think they're relatively good movies for what they were. And they're definitely D movies, but at the same time,
I guess
I'm not
then I
beneath
guess-
watching them.
Yeah, I guess my issue comes with the for what they were, that aspect of it, because I think every movie should be judged, quote unquote, for what they are.
For their time period?
No, not time
No,
period
no.
necessarily, but like what they are and what they're trying to accomplish. So if they made a movie I enjoy within the those sort of parameters, then I think it's a good movie. You know what I mean?
It's almost like if that movie had like context that reaches a goal, then that's a good movie. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. But I guess even more simply, if I enjoyed a movie, then I think it's good. I think so it's just very weird to me to hear you say like, oh, I love the first Evil Dead movie. It's terrible, but I love it. And it's just...
Well, I mean, lots of people like The Room. Or Room. No, The Room.
The Room.
I like Room. I've never seen
it. The Brie Larson.
Yeah, I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people like The Room. But they would also say that it's a terrible movie.
Well, I'm not talking to a lot of other people.
Oh my god.
I'm talking to
What
you.
I know, but that's where I'm getting at, that it's like it's of the same sentiment of that. Like,
Yeah, no,
things
but
can
I'm
be
saying...
bad and terrible from a movie perspective, but still have endearing qualities and
That's the thing I'm disagreeing
that you like
with.
about it.
But that's the thing I'm disagreeing with. That, like, I think movies I don't like can have endearing qualities. Danny in Real Life had a couple of things I enjoyed in them, but I think it's a bad movie. And movies I think are great can have aspects of them that are bad, but I wouldn't call a movie I like a bad movie. Or else I wouldn't like it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Nah. Agree to disagree.
And then, I didn't write it down, but then you said Evil Dead 2 was a spoof of the first
Yeah,
one?
it was like if Evil Dead 1 was a horror movie made in the 80s, then Evil Dead 2
It
was
was.
like
If.
Oh no.
So funny.
then like Evil Dead 2 is like a cabin in the woods style, like the literal cabin, the 2011 movie.
It's more of a
Like
comedy.
It's a comedy horror. And
Yeah.
But it's
it
the
is,
exact
yeah.
same story. It's basically spoofing itself.
Yeah, I don't like the word spoof. It's just it's a funnier take on a similar thing. Yeah.
No, it's the same story.
It isn't. It's not.
It's basically the same.
It
story.
isn't. It isn't. It's not. Does he cut his hand off in the first one?
No.
Oh, weird. But he cuts it off in the second one. If it's the same story, why does he do something completely different in the second one that he didn't do in the first? So weird. Anyway, this is why I didn't want to rebut it. What?
Anyway.
What? No, what?
Yeah, that's like saying that in the first Spider-Man, did he make his own web or did they come out of his arm?
In the first
Oh, in
one?
the second Spider-Man, he made his own web. He's a super smart teenager. How could that be possible? They're both Spider-Man.
What? That's completely different. You wouldn't say Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 are the same movie, and they come out of his arm in both movies, you idiot. What are you talking about?
No, it's Spider-Man reboot.
Yeah, so you would say that Spider-Man...
I'm saying is
No,
no.
listen, you would say Spider-Man Homecoming.
They're both
Spider-Man Homecoming.
How can they both be Spider-Man?
No, you said they were the exact same movie. That's the part.
Well,
I never
no.
said they didn't have the same characters.
But come on, you know what I mean. Like, they're both Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2, you know what? A bunch of people go to a cabin, there's an evil force that takes over one of them, and they gotta trap him in the basement, and it's this story. I've been telling you this story.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with so here's the thing. I'm disagreeing with the specific stuff you're saying, and then you're like, well, come on, if I use more general terms that are accurate, that's right. And it's like, yeah, 100%.
All right.
So this movie, which is completely different from the two we were just
You're
talking
right.
about.
Two completely different movies. They were made in different years. They star different actors.
Yes. You're saying that sarcastically, but they are different movies.
I know they're different movies.
That's
But all I'm
great.
saying is that the story in Evil Dead 1 is almost the exact same story as Evil Dead 2, and in Evil Dead 2, they just make a comedy of the first one.
No, see, I disagree with that. The
Yeah.
Evil Dead 2, the first, 20 minutes is a loose sort of remake of the first movie. Kind of. And the movie in general is definitely funnier. It's a funny movie. But to say it's the exact same movie as the first one, but done as a parody, that's the part I'm taking issue with.
All right, that's fair.
Anyway, back to this one.
And then the third one is
Yeah, the third one's completely different. Or wait, no, it still
a
has
different
ashes.
movie.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mike.
the third one is completely different. I never said it was.
Oh my god.
Can we talk about this movie?
Yeah, let's talk about this movie. Why did we even get on? Oh yeah.
Because you guys made me rebut the dumb shit Tim said.
I didn't make you rebut anything.
You
Actually,
did.
no, I did. That was my fault. I'm so sorry.
So you mentioned the sort of the cold open with like a girl running through the woods and she's then like captured by some weirdos.
Yep. Yeah, that took me for a loop.
Yeah, it's a neat little sort of twist.
Yeah, I agreed. Like I honestly I did not realize how close the story of this would be to the other movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I just so when I saw that happening, I thought, okay, well maybe this is just, they're gonna show. I don't know. Maybe they're taking it a different way or whatever. But to have that sort of show that the evilness, I don't even know what it's called, the spirits, the demons, take over a lot of people. Often, I think that's a cool kind of way to link them all together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it almost foreshadows other the general thing is it's a twist because you think it's like a helpless girl running through the woods, she's captured by weirdos, and you think, oh, these weirdos are gonna like fuck her up and that's gonna be the horror movie, but then it turns out the weirdos are right and she's possessed by the deadite spirits or whatever because she talks some awful trash to her father.
I wrote that down too. Like, this spirit, does a good job of trying to manipulate people into thinking that they're the real person, and then at some point along the lines, they totally throw it out the window and start
I love
start taunting them for after they realize that they totally throw that out the window. Their whole con out the window and go for it.
I love when they give up and just start talking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then everybody else shows up at the cabin. It's a pretty, like you said, I mean, I wouldn't say everyone sort of gets well developed, Insha, like I would disagree on that, but I would say like none of them are annoying,
I wouldn't say...
which is a benefit in a horror movie for sure.
Yeah, like I wouldn't say well developed, but I would say like it establishes like all of them each as a character. Like it even wrote it down where it says like Mia's a recovering drug addict, David's Mia's brother in a relationship with Natalie, David and Olivia potentially had a thing maybe, or they're just friends. I don't know.
Pick that up.
Yeah, Eric is a school teacher, Olivia is a registered nurse, and then David's been absent in Mia and the family and the friends' life, and then Mia felt abandoned. It has is a good play on all of their intersectional relationships.
For sure.
In a weird way, which I think I like that a little bit more in this movie than what we got in the previous movies.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah, I will say that I really liked Mia and how they added that she was going through rehab, because that kind of brings in more of the doubt that she actually got attacked by spirits throughout the first half of the movie.
Yeah,
I really like that.
It flows together really well with like if they were just partying at a cabin and then weird shit started happening, you'd fuck off right away, right?
Yeah.
But
Right.
in this case, because she's the first one to notice shit, they just think it's her going through withdrawals and being, weird about it.
I also
But yeah, I think it was a good add to the overall story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also like that it plays a little bit, I don't know if anybody caught it except for me, it plays a little bit with like Mia's willpower, where it's like the necklace is like a will thing that he gives her to be like, this is to keep your will strong. And then it's just like both the will of her trying to survive the night and then also her beating her addiction. And I was just like, that's really cute for her.
Mm. It is. I mean, I haven't thought this. I haven't gone through the thought process of this because it literally just popped into my head as you said that, but it could almost be seen as a pretty sad allegory about drug addiction.
Yep.
Where she was, well, I mean, in general it is, but she was only able to, quote unquote, get clean by destroying everybody close to her, which is really sad. And I think that's almost part of Olivia's characterization, because I feel like she gets a bit of a short shrift. Like, she kind of is just bitchy a lot, but
Yeah.
I kind of get it, because she seems to be the one who has gone through it the most with her. So she's like over it. She's like, we have to do this. So she's short about everything.
Is Olivia the blonde-haired one?
No, that was Natalie.
But here's a funny thing I was going to mention, because you didn't mention her when you were talking about each character having a thing, which is very funny, because one of my notes is that, what is Natalie doing there? Why would you ever go to this weekend? Like, she's clearly not friends with them. Like, she clearly started dating David after he sort of pulled away from the group and his sister. Mm-hmm. So how is this the best way for her to reintegrate into everything?
And to bring back to your thought of it, everybody is more well established. I thought she was the most nothingness of a character.
No, she's nothing. She's honestly just there for, I feel like, moral support for David, but then also being like, oh, I want to get to know your sister.
The worst time to get to know her. She does get one, I will say, in her defense, she gets one badass moment, which is pretty cool. When she cuts her arm off with the electric knife, with the carving knife.
Also, I really like that the possessions kind of like, they go through everybody. It's not just David, and it's not just Mia. It just flows through everybody. And I was just like, oh, that's actually really interesting. Like how Natalie gets her arm cut off, and then Olivia gets the face carving, and then whatever happens to Eric, because so many things happen to him.
A lot of
until
things
so
happen to
bad.
Eric, yeah. He really gets punished for reading that book, huh?
Well deserved. Like, that was the stupidest fucking thing. Like, there's words over that says do not read, do not write, and he does everything. He does everything that the book tells him not to.
I agree in the concept, in like, he's kind of annoying, and so I understand that. But I always want to defend the people in these types of movies who fuck up by like reading Latin they don't understand, or reading a crazy book that looks disgusting, because they don't know that shit exists. You know what I mean? They don't know.
Here's the thing, though. If you have to take a pencil Latin and shade it, and then it sounds weird to you, don't read it.
Nah, I disagree. Like, I would read that fucking book, because guess what? Demons don't exist. So I understand why they think that, because it's true.
But it also says,
they just don't
do
know
not
they're in a
read,
movie.
do not write,
Yeah,
do not
like
say
it
aloud.
had so many warnings on it. It was covered in a plastic bag and barbed wire to cut through to get into it. Maybe it shouldn't be even picked up. I'm just saying.
I still think it's whatever. That could be, for all he knows, it's like, oh, this must be a prop from a horror movie they shot here.
You're gonna be that guy
behind.
who just gets punished brutally because he read a book.
No, I wouldn't be that guy, because it doesn't exist, so it wouldn't happen. So I do have some sympathy for them, because they don't know they're in a movie.
It's such a weird thing for them to focus on too when they get down to the basement with all these cats everywhere. They like look at the desk and see this weird book. Like, why is that their focal point down in a basement full of dead hanging cats?
Was it everyone looking at it, or was it just Eric?
No, it was just the two guys who were down there.
That too.
And then they bring it upstairs.
I mean, it's probably better to focus on that than the dead cats.
Yeah, to be fair, I'd be looking everywhere else except.
Yeah. Also, he brings out, like, once he's cleaning the basement and he brings up the dead cats to put in the garbage, I'm just like, there's no way that all those dead cats can fit in, like, one garbage bag.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
I started writing down the jump scare count on this movie and marking it along the way, and I stopped at 10. So it could have been more than that.
You're just counting any time you were scared as a jump scare, I think.
Ooh, that's a good thing. Just mark down any time you were scared, Tim.
think
I
that's
stopped, so it's more than 10.
Okay.
No, there was a lot of jump scares in this movie.
I don't know. I didn't notice, but nothing seemed egregious to me. Like, I don't think jump scares in general are bad. So, and nothing stood out as, like, throwing something in to get a scare.
Yeah.
Everything sort of built up, like, exponentially. I mean, it ended with blood rain, so it definitely built up exponentially. But it didn't feel like they were like, oh, it's been boring for the last 5 minutes, have a fucking mop fall out of a closet and a cello go like,
That's true.
like it all sort of flowed, I think. I was going to say, one part, like one of the most controversial parts about The Evil Dead, like the original, is the part where the tree rapes the lady.
Yeah.
So it's almost impressive in a weird way that that's one of the parts that they actually like redid in this one. You know what I mean? Like,
I think that's the thing that you would probably, if you were to remake this, you would have to put it. It's so weirdly iconic that I don't think you can skip over it. And if you do skip over it, then you're gonna have a lot of angry
really?
fans.
I would almost say
Yeah.
the opposite. Like, I think it's iconic for not bad reasons, like honest reasons. I think even Sam Raimi said if he remade the movie, he wouldn't have included that part in the original. So it's almost like a trying to do a better version of it instead of just cutting it, which I kind of respect in a way.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know.
Like it's a weird scene.
It is a weird scene.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the original was a little probably like it's not. Neither one of these scenes are good. I think like this one kind of like it's a little bit.
Are you trying to say that this was a tasteful way of doing an Insha?
No.
I would say not tasteful, but a better way.
It's a better
I think it
way
was
of
better.
doing it, yeah. Because like it's
Because
like,
it's
the slither up the slither up the leg is not great, but at the same exact time, it's better than like a branch shooting straight at you. You know?
yeah.
I don't know why.
The original one is more gratuitous, and this one, I don't know. They kind of make it make sense in a way. I guess I don't know. But it's just odd that that's like one of the only scenes they actually recreate. So what did you think? So when I said at the beginning, the first time I watched the film, I was kind of annoyed because I was like, I didn't like the new Ash, the quote unquote new Ash. I don't really like the actor who plays David. He's like fine later on, but I don't think he's that good. So it was annoying me that I was like, he's the new Ash? Like, he's nowhere close to Bruce Campbell. Yeah. And then when the twist happens where it's like, oh, actually, Mia's the one who's, like, the badass. She's the one who's our new Ash. I was like, oh, fuck yeah. So, like, once I rewatched it knowing that was going to happen, it played a lot better for me.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Not to jump to the end, but I think we're already there. But I was waiting for her to say, before she ripped this chainsaw into the Deadite, I was waiting for her to say, "Hail to the Queen, baby."
She's a fucking badass at the end once it starts raining blood. And
I love it when.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say I love it when she's like in the shop and she sees the machete and goes to grab it, but then grabs the chainsaw instead.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I have that in my notes. And then when she just bangs the shelf so that like the chainsaw oil falls down. Yeah. I really like those. David gets a few of those at the end. The very Sam Raimi shots of him like putting shit together to resurrect her and whatnot, and like carving up the bodies in the shed. Like it's shot very Raimi-ish, which is good.
But back to the new Ash, I did like to go back to the original Evil Dead. They do a lot of good callbacks in this as well. Like even just like there was a cool shot of the gun and the book all on the table, like the shotgun with the book on the table, and then the shots with like the chains over top of the cellar door. I thought were all really cool and kind of go back, and then of course the chainsaw and stuff.
And the famous running through the woods sped up shot towards the cabin. They do that
Yeah.
once or twice, I think, which is really good.
Yep.
Yeah, it does
I
a
also-
lot of
No, go ahead.
sorry. It does a lot of good like homages to the originals without being overt.
Yeah.
Like, it very much has a different style than any of the other three.
100%. Like I wanted to, like I was said at the beginning, like if Evil Dead 1 was a B horror movie, this is them taking that same story and making an A horror movie, like out of it, which I think was admirable, let's say. Like, I think they did a good job of making it super modern and super scary and over the top.
Yeah, it's like the same tone as the first one with an actual budget without the inherent goofiness of a cheaper movie.
Right.
I don't like it better than the first one, but I think it's better than it has any right to be. Like, it's better than I would expect it. And I mean, I think the fact that Sam Raimi produced it too helped, right? Like,
Yeah. If this was like in anybody else's like grips, it would have probably been like, oh no, you're just doing a shot for shot remake of it. But this has like a cool different storyline that kind of just like it flows and it sits well.
It feels like he gave the blessing to be like, yeah, do what, like, make it an Evil Dead movie, but do your thing with it, right?
Yeah. And I think especially because it's so gory that it also very much works. Like when Mia's
It's
like
incredibly gory.
like when Mia like tongues the like knife cutter
Box
and
cutter
stuff.
tongue. Oh, I hate box cutter tongue.
I was just
I
like,
hate it so much. I hate box cutter tongue. I have to look away. I'm a Tim when it comes to that scene.
I don't even know what you're talking about because I was not looking at that.
You know when Natalie is in the basement
Yeah.
and Mia bites her hand.
Yep.
Natalie's like brandishing a box cutter at her, and then Mia takes it from her, and then puts the blade up and licks it, and her tongue.
Yeah, I wasn't watching.
I was like, Tim probably just looked away by that.
Yeah, I have to look away when she starts licking it. It's brutal, but it's fucking good, man. It's so gross.
So good.
It's so good.
Another part where I literally couldn't watch because I knew it was coming is when when Olivia does her stuff, they pan to the book with like her face, like the drawing of the woman with the skin holding like the skin of her face, and he's like, oh no, I know this is coming. I don't want to watch it.
It's a good shot when you like hear her sawing at something, and then she turns around and her fucking cheek is like chunked out. It's so gross. And then fucking Eric, white Jesus, slips on it. Man, he gets so much punishment when he pulls that needle out from under his eye.
Oh
It's so gross. Even when she's just stabbing at his glasses with the piece of glass or with the needle.
So much.
It's brutal, man.
It's like eight stabs too many. Like
it's
she just
crazy.
keeps going and going.
Like even seeing like Natalie's like arm just kind of like dangling, and then it just kind of just like skirts off.
When it just like plops off. It's so gross.
I had to do it. I feel much better now.
By the way,
so gross.
bringing back to what Michael was saying earlier, this is what I remembered, is that like that's such a cool fake out when she cuts her arm off because it gets infected, and it's like, oh, okay, well they do a cool callback to that her arm gets chopped off or whatever, and at the end when Mia has to chop her arm off too and put the chainsaw,
not even chop.
Just like pull it.
She
Rip it
rips
off.
her arm off. Yeah, you're right. It's funny they do it like a fake out. They have a fake out like final character with the fake Ash, and then they have a fake out like arm chop. Yeah, it's cool. I was gonna say about Eric is that like he read from the book, he gets a shitload of punishment, and the the funniest one that I always remember, because Eric and David are talking in the living room, and then possessed Natalie comes in with the nail gun, which when they're nailing shit with a nail gun in a horror movie early on, like that's Chekhov's nail gun. It's coming back. But when she comes in and starts shooting them up with it, he gets like shot a bunch of times in his arm, and then shot in his chest and his hand and shit.
Yeah.
And then David gets like shot like 3 nails in his thigh or something, and it shows like Eric being like, oh, and like pulling the nails out from his arm and his chest and whatnot, and then it pans over to David pulling the nails out of his thigh, and he gets just as much time and like pain on his face, and it's like, dude, just in your thigh, man. Look over at Eric. Like Eric is fucked up with nails, and he's like, oh, 3 nails in my thigh in the meatiest part of my body. Oh no. And Eric has his literal fucking arm like nailed to his heart.
Also, I love how he recovered from like that shotgun blast really just in 2 seconds.
Oh yeah, I forgot he.
He gets like shotgun blasted by Mia, and then like all of a sudden he's just like, "Well, I'm cured now." I'm like, no, that's not how that happens.
That's funny. I do like, and yeah, what like I was gonna say about Eric, he's an idiot who reads from the book, even though whatever, and then he gets put through a lot, but he saves David at the end, which I think is a nice moment, because it's like, yeah, we put you through enough shit. You can have like one good thing happen to you.
It's also weird because I don't think David necessarily deserved to be saved. I don't like David as a character, I think.
No, but I mean, David dies ultimately, but he needed to be saved to like fix Mia, who rules.
True.
Is it Mia or Maya?
It's Mia.
How have we been saying it? Mia? Okay. I can't remember. Reading my notes, I'm like, how do I say this? I just watched it an hour ago.
Yeah, I agree with David being such a blah character. Like, I was, like,
He's
the
so
whole time, I'm just like, I
awful.
do not care if he lives or dies.
No.
I think...
Yeah, that's why it... Yeah, sorry.
No, go.
Oh, no, I think I was just reiterating, like, that. I think that's what turned me off the first time, is I was like, Jane Levy is Mia fucking rules, and she's great to have here as the villain, but I don't want to see David do anything. He's just so boring. He's such, like, a CW version of a fucking main character.
Yeah. And I think even, like, getting, like, some of the backstory with the family of how, like, he just, like, up and left his friends, up and left his sick mother, up and left Mia, didn't know that Mia had overdosed.
Looks like she's doing okay.
David, there's something you need to know.
Okay.
We already tried this whole thing back in Flint last summer. Mia made the same promises. She took the same dramatic vow of sobriety before checking her dope down the toilet.
She lasted 8 hours and quit.
So we don't want to give her that chance this time.
What do you mean?
David, when she breaks, and believe me, she will, we don't want to let her leave.
What do you mean? You want to force her to stay here? Mia. This time the only way is the hard way, man.
She won't survive another OD.
What? Mia OD'd? She didn't just OD. Legally, your sister died. They had to defibrillate her. Jesus.
We all need to be together on this, otherwise it won't work.
Came here to make things better with my sister, not worse.
Didn't know that they had tried this before.
Like, died.
It's just,
Yeah, fucking died.
It's just like, it's so much for him to not have known and to run away from, that it's just like, if you were if you were Ash, I don't think you even deserve this. Like, it's just not deserved.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like Bruce Campbell in the first one, he's not like a great actor, but he has a really good presence. Mm-hmm. He's like, he spends a lot of the movie not saying anything and reacting to shit, and he's fantastic at that. I mean, he's a great actor now, but early on, right? And he gets like put through the ringer in those movies, like a lot of shit happens to him. David gets shot in the shoulder halfway through and then gets 3 nails in his thigh. And then everybody else gets all the shit done to them mostly. And then he gets stabbed in the neck and dies. But it's like you sort of feel for Ash, and which makes sense because in this one, Mia's that person. Like she's the one who goes through all that shit and comes out on top.
And you very much feel for Mia because like that's like all of that was like no joke. I mean, like she got kind of raped by a tree. I think you should give some sympathy to her.
Yeah. It's funny early on too when that great shot of her sitting on the car in the woods, which I think is the Ash's car, right? From the original. When she's sitting there or whatever, and then David comes out and they're talking, and then the dog runs up and she's like, "Grandpa!" I was like, how fucking high is Mia right now?
Hey, Mia.
I'll be damned. You actually came.
Come on, you're big brother. Of course I came.
I know I look like roadkill,
No, you look beautiful. As always.
and you're a charming liar. As always. Grandpa? Hey. Hey there, buddy.
But then it's, oh yeah, the dog's name is Grandpa.
What's his stupid ass dog name?
Rest in peace, Grandpa. I was so sad when he died.
She has another really cool shot with her underneath the bunk bed with like the crazy eyes with like at the beginning.
Yeah.
I thought she was super cool there.
She's fucking fantastic as the like possessed deadite Mia. She's so creepy and so good.
I feel like
If there was a version of this with a better character as her brother and she was just the villain the entire time and he survived, I'd be fine with it. But I'd prefer her living because she rules.
Yeah, no, I thought this was a cooler movie with that happening because
Absolutely.
I mean, the only thing her brother was good at is MacGyvering a defibrillator.
Yeah, which is like, it's like you don't know how to do this. Like that's such movie shit. Like that's not a thing you know how to do. It would be funny. You know what? And weirdly, I've never seen Shiloh Fernandez, the guy who plays David, in anything else. He could be good in other stuff. But a version of this movie where the actor who played Eric was the main character, or even the actress who played Olivia were the main character. Because I've seen Jessica Lucas and stuff, and she's great, and I've seen Lou Taylor Pucci and stuff, and he's great. Would have been better, because I think they're just better actors. Based on this movie alone. But I just didn't want to give him the benefit of the doubt in any situation. Like, as well edited and Raimi-esque as it was when he's MacGyvering a defibrillator, I was like, fuck off, David, biggest fuck off in the world. Like, shut up. Like, in real life, he would just have taken a car battery and, like, jumper cables, would have buried his sister and killed her, and then put them against her body, and it would have done nothing. So,
I didn't expect her. I didn't even.
Olivia, oh, sorry.
I was gonna say I didn't like when he was doing this. Like the movie. I get what you said. Like the whole movie like kind of paints him up as a fuck up. Where I'm just like, I don't care about this guy. What is he doing? So when he MacGyvers this whole defibrillator and then like does it and originally it does nothing. I'm just like, yeah, of course it's not gonna do fucking anything, idiot. So
Well,
when
it is funny.
Well, I was gonna say when she comes back and like she's actually standing like he walks away and the camera turns and she's not even just like there's no shot of her like gaining consciousness or like showing her breathing. It's just her standing there and she's like, oh, she's gonna fuck this guy up, and that's the end of the movie. Is she's gonna kill her. Credits, and then it went on for another 15 more minutes.
Watching it this time, I totally forgot how David dies. So when he turns around and she's just standing there, I was like, oh, do they hug and she stabs him and then she turns back into normal? Or I couldn't remember because it is shot very like, don't go over and hug that bitch, you don't know who she is.
Right,
she was dead, man, don't do that.
I think there's another time where I thought this movie was gonna end and it didn't. Like there was that time there.
As soon as the credits rolled at the beginning, you were like, and
no, but there was another time where like maybe it's when the house blows up and she's standing there in front of it and then it shows the
Blood
other
rain?
Deadite is still around.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where
Does that
you
happen?
that's where you go into art. Like it's weird because like this movie kind of it does this thing where like you can tell where you start and end the movies that it's based off of because it's like
Yeah.
Evil Dead 1 that happened, Evil Dead 2 that happened. Once you get to like Mia kind of like seeing the house and seeing it burn up and knowing that she's gonna just be alive for the rest of it, being like, okay, this is where Army of Darkness starts. This will be fine.
I do like that the whole Blood Rain finale is very cool because it's like it or hate it, Tim. It's like iconic and has nothing to do with any of the other Evil Dead movies.
Yep.
Like it's something
Yep.
solely original to this one, and it looks cool as shit.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I like.
oh, here's a
Hold on.
sorry.
For the record, I like the Blood Rain.
Yeah, Blood Rain was cool, right? Now, I'm going to ask you a question. I'll ask you right now. You like the Blood Rain. Did you like when she face fucks the Deadite with the chainsaw?
I did like that whole
The effects
scene.
were really
It
good.
was
When the
super
body is
cool.
shaking, it's so good.
Well, yeah. I liked it. Like that whole scene of a silhouette of just the red coming down and her like the blood flying everywhere. It was so cool. I didn't like when they close up on her in half on the ground.
On the
and
split
kind
in
of like
half,
moving around a little bit. But yeah, no, that other part was
It's
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a cool effect. Here's a question. When he buries her to rid her of the Deadite or whatever, why does he put her in that red dress?
It's just I think it's just a burial thing. It's just like make her look nice so she can be
Did
buried
it
in the
say it
ground.
in the book, or was he just like, no, I should make... But his
No.
plan is to bring her back to life.
It's just to make her look nice. It's kind of it's just a funeral. I think it's just a funeral type of situation where it's just
So
like
he's like,
you
in
dress up
case
your
I fuck
dead
this
to
up-
bury him.
In case I fuck this up, which we have a very good chance of because I don't fucking know how to make a defibrillator, I'm gonna make her look nice.
Basically.
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, it's a nice
I-
dress.
And how does he know that when the lights go out, that means the Deadite's gone? Like that was
Like, how do you know the proper
like, do they
time to
control
take her
the
back
power?
up?
Yes. There's a Deadite at the
Power generation station.
power station with like a fucking helmet on and one of those like fluorescent vests.
That was a neat plan though. Like as much as he's stupid. The whole plan of like, okay, if I kill her, that means it goes away. So then I'm gonna do it in a way that I can bring her back.
Well, it is funny that
Pretty clever.
well when Eric clever when Eric tells him like the ways to make sure his sister's soul rests or whatever, one of them is a live burial, and he says that first, and then he's like, or burn her or whatever. You're right. Like it's smart of David to be like, a live burial. I could try to bring her back.
Yeah. It's weird that would be one of the things that would do it though.
Well, do you want Mia at the end or not? You can't have it both ways. And a better written movie isn't an option. No, it's. I think it's a well written movie. And
I think
do. Yeah. They do a good job because I mean, logistically, the Book of the Dead has never made any sense in any of the other Evil Dead movies. Like it literally just does whatever Sam Raimi wanted it to do. So actually having some sort of rules and shit is kind of cool.
I have a question. Did both of you guys have like the unrated version?
I think I watched the extended one. Yeah.
I had
Okay.
the extended version. I don't know if it was unrated or not.
Probably.
Because I think Tim said he was watching the extended one, so I watched that. Yeah.
I think it's probably the same thing. Did you guys stay until the credits ended? Did you see the alternative scene?
Yeah, the alternate ending.
Yeah.
No, I
Or
didn't.
it's not even. It's sort of like an.
When it was done, I
extra-
turned it off immediately.
Oh, well, then you missed two things actually. Tim missed the end, the very end.
Oh yeah, you missed the fun part. The part that you would have liked.
Yeah,
So Ash comes back.
where somebody
What
sits you down with a nice tea and says, "It's all fake. It's all just a movie. Don't worry, sweetie."
The original Ash comes back.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
That's selling it fake. The very end after the credits, and this was in like the theatrical cut too. Like once the credits roll, you see like the outline of Bruce Campbell's face.
Groovy.
Oh.
Yeah, but
It was
in the
unsatisfying
extended
to
cut-
people in my theater too.
Yeah, that's pretty much the reaction. If you expect something really cool, then it's crazy. It's not cool, but if you don't expect it at all, it's neat that Bruce Campbell's in it. But the mid credits was like an alternate ending, it's not even alternate because it's kind of just more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been better without it.
Well, explain it to him.
Yeah, what happened? I didn't watch it.
So Mia's kind of walking with her one bloody hand under her arm, and then she collapses in the street, and then a guy comes and he's like, "Are you all right, kiddo?" And then she's like, "Help me." And then she gets in the back of his car, and then she's sleeping, but then immediately she opens her eyes and looks at the camera. And I think it's supposed to just mean that the evil is now going to other places, like it's not gone yet. So it's going...
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't
weird.
have the evil eyes in it. She just has her normal eyes.
Yeah. So I like that's why I was kind of just like it would have probably been better if you just didn't have that. Cuz it's
It's useless.
Yeah, Mia like walking into the sunset trying to like figure herself out is a much better ending than her actually being picked up.
Yeah, I'll
And it's
pretend
just
that
a
it
cooler-
didn't happen.
It's just a cooler shot anyway, her just walking off like
Yeah.
it's just a cooler way to end it. Also, I don't want to be a hard ass Tim, but next time can we watch the entire movie when we're doing this?
I'm not gonna watch after the credits just in case.
You have to well for all of
Just
these horror
watch.
movies you're going to have to.
Ugh,
Can you just make sure it's
no.
just try to be serious about this maybe?
If we're going to do Christmas, you got to try.
We're not doing Christmas. What are you gonna watch? Fucking Santa Claus 2? Fuck off. We're not doing Christmas. Does anyone have any more notes?
The only other one I had was that the shot at the very beginning with the upside down trees was super cool.
Mm-hmm. There was another shot I really liked too when David is chopping up, I think Natalie's body in the shed, and the blood splashes onto the light, and then it's a shot outside of the shed, and there's like the moonlight in the back, but the light from the shed is red. That was a cool shot. Maybe we'll put it up as art in one of the things. But yeah, it was a good looking movie.
Yeah. I think my last note is just Jane Levy is like an underrated scream queen. And I think that
she's
should be
fantastic.
acknowledged.
Yeah, she's amazing. She needs to do more horror.
Yeah.
I really do. And I watched like the first 2 seasons of Ash vs. Evil Dead, that show. And it was good. I liked it. But I would honestly like an Evil Dead 2, Evil Dead 2013 2, with
I don't
Evil Dead 4026 with Jane Levy in it.
I don't
So would
think
you
that's
be-
gonna happen.
Would
No,
it
I
just
don't think
be
it will
a
be, but-
continuation of the story in some other aspect, or would it be like you do Evil Dead 2?
I don't know. It's up to them. I'm not the one getting paid for it.
If you write the screenplay, it would.
Don't shelter me with responsibility.
Yeah. I don't know. I would just like to see Jane Levy in the Ash role. If they did an Evil Dead 2 type continuation, then that's fine. I don't know. A sequel to this movie. You know what a sequel is.
All right. I was asking you for your input.
I just want to see this character again. I think she's cool.
That is true.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll do hit or... Oh, wait. It passes. It's a road games, right?
Yeah, it's a road games.
on your John Wick to Face Off scale, it's a road games?
It's a road games.
No one says Evil Dead?
Yeah, we can jump over this one.
Ooh, they also have... Here's another little thing. This is why you need to... Just next time, Tim, promise me you'll watch the entire movie. Because they have...
I watched
during
the extended movie.
But you didn't watch all of it.
You actually didn't. I think you missed most of the extended part of it. You might as well have watched it in theaters. While the credits are rolling, you hear the cassette tape of that professor from the original film, the guy who reads the Necronomicon.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, like you know how they listen to that recording of him being like, "Oh, I should have read from this book. I fucked up."
I believe I have made a significant find in the Kandarian runes, a volume of ancient Sumerian burial practices and funerary incantations. It is entitled Naturan de Manto, roughly translated, Book of the Dead. The book is bound in human flesh and inked in human blood. It deals with demons, demon resurrection, and those forces which roam the forest and dark bowers of man's domain. The first few pages warn that these enduring creatures may lie dormant, but are never truly dead. They may be recalled to active life through the incantations presented in this book. It is through recitation of these passages that the demons are given license to possess the living. I have seen the dark shadows moving in the woods, and I have no doubt that whatever I have resurrected through this book is sure to come calling for me.
They play that during the end of it.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. So hit or shit? I think it's pretty obvious. I think it's a hit. Insha.
Yeah, it's a hit.
Tim.
You know what? Honestly, I think talking about this movie, you guys have turned it around. I actually kind of like this movie now that we've talked about it.
Yeah. I was interested because I knew you liked the original Evil Deads, and I wasn't sure whether that would put you off this or make you more amenable to like get through the gore because you enjoyed the general concept. But
yeah, no, and so in general, the reason why I have passed on this movie, even though I liked the first 3 Evil Dead movies, is because I knew this, like I said earlier, like an A horror movie version of it, which I'm not usually a fan of. So that was the reason why I skipped over this one. But now watching it and seeing all the things that, you know, the little nostalgia motifs to the originals helped it push it over the edges of what I would like. Would I revisit this anytime soon? Probably not. But I'm glad that I can take this one off my list.
You wouldn't just sit there and rewatch it someday, but maybe if you were like over at a friend's house for Halloween and they were like, "Hey, let's throw on Evil Dead," and you can pay attention while we drink and talk, you'd be okay.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Recommendations?
I have, if you want to see a Cabin in the Woods style movie like this one, watch Cabin in the Woods.
Also, you know what? I deserve a fucking medal for earlier when you were like, Evil Dead or Evil Dead 2 is a Cabin in the Woods movie like the movie Cabin in the Woods. When it's the complete fucking opposite. Cabin in the Woods is called Cabin in the Woods and is based on movies that Evil Dead created, basically. I'll cut this out, but I still deserve a fucking medal for
I don't think did I say that?
You did.
You did say
you
that.
did.
Don't make me insert it.
No, don't insert it. Don't insert it. All right.
Don't make me. It's not the first time Tim said that to me.
Yeah.
Any more recommendations?
So if you want to watch a Cabin in the Woods style movie like this one, watch Cabin in the Woods 2011.
You already did that.
Yeah, but you were going to cut everything else out before this.
No, I'm leaving that in now. Okay, those are your 2 recommendations.
No. If you want to watch Jessica Lucas in something else, watch Cloverfield.
Oh, that's in my
Oh yeah, she was in it.
She was. She's the only one who lives in Cloverfield.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah.
There's my 2 recommendations.
Oh, nice. I can go.
Insha, go ahead.
Nope.
Do you want to go? I can go. If you don't want to go.
I don't know.
Somebody
Tim
go.
Confused.
Okay.
Tim threw me. Well, stop yelling.
So I'll go. Mine is.
No, I want to go.
Okay.
Okay. Drag Me to Hell, directed by Sam Raimi, is good. Underrated. A movie that Insha and I did last Halloween is Spring, which stars Lou Taylor Pucci from this movie. I had Cloverfield as well. I had Don't Breathe by the same director, and Jane Levy's in that. I watched that with Tim, and he was a little pussy when we watched it.
I did actually like that one. Did like that movie too when we watched.
That one's not bad too. Yeah.
Same.
Here's the thing: is
except
that if we watch movies like that, where, like, in that style of movie that you were talking about, where you sit around with friends in Halloween and you're just like, let's watch a scary movie, and you kind of like drinking beers and chatting within it, I'm fine with those type of horror movies.
So you just need somebody there with you.
Yeah, do we have to watch these with you?
Yeah, I think we need to live cat.
I had one more recommendation. I would recommend The Raid, which is a totally different type of movie, except weirdly it has almost the exact same scene when Mia's hiding in the wall and the Deadite is stabbing a machete through it and it like cuts her leg. The exact same scene happens in The Raid. Weirdly.
I'm pretty sure you and I watched The Raid together too.
We did watch it and you weren't as scared, but I still held you. I did.
It's another really good movie.
It is a great movie. Ancient recommendations.
I think my only two are like Jane Levy movies, shows. So Castle Rock, the first season, she's so good in it. She's in an episode of Twin Peaks that I remember. I think it's episode 5. Okay, and then Suburgatories. So good. Don't Breathe.
That is a good show. And
if you want to see her sing and dance, Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist is actually really cute. I can't stand it, but it's really cute.
Great recommendation.
Like, Tim would like it. Maybe.
Fuck, that's a huge burn on.
Thanks.
No, it's a cute show. It's just annoying. I'm not
what is
making
it like?
This any better.
Is it like Glee 2? Like, what is this thing? I've never heard of it before.
It's kind of like she has an MRI or something like that, and then she starts hearing people sing.
I hope it has a better survival rate than Glee.
I mean, her dad... Spoilers, her dad dies.
I mean in real life.
Oh. Nobody dies.
What else? What do we do? Oh, who's next?
I'm
yes,
next.
Tim.
Tim is next.
Oh, classic Tim pick.
Oh, here we go.
What did you
I swear to
pick?
God.
I'm gonna throw my fucking laptop against the wall with you.
Okay, here we go. You guys ready?
No.
Our next movie is going to be Insidious.
All right.
We've all seen that.
Yeah, seriously.
No one of us has not seen it.
You haven't seen it?
You?
I have not.
Oh,
Here's the thing.
Tim's going in blood.
Hold
Here
on.
we go.
Wait a minute.
This is not a Insha or a Michael pick. This is a Rachel pick.
Ooh.
Oh.
That's brave of you, Tim.
Yeah. My wife Rachel.
Oh, that'll be fun.
My wife Rachel, who is a
Rachel.
Rachel, who is
My wife
a
Rachel.
somewhat fan of horror movies, more than I am. She said that this is a great movie to watch. Actually, she said Insidious 2, and I was thinking of picking that, but I haven't seen the first one, so I thought
Yeah, you should watch the first one.
We'll pick Insidious.
That's a good pick. I'm glad that you let her pick your movie. I'm legitimately glad because I was like, oh, that's a good pick, and then I was kind of disappointed that I was like, wait, then we've all seen it. So I'm excited to talk about that.
I was about to be really mad because I was just like, I can't pick movies that I haven't seen, but Tim can't pick movies that he hasn't seen.
You can pick movies oh my god, we've been over this.
Yeah,
you
no,
can
but
pick movies you haven't seen.
No, in the first reiteration of when Tim got here, you guys were on me and busted my balls about, oh, you can't pick movies that like you haven't seen because of this, and this.
We never said that. No,
totally did.
That's never been
totally
a rule.
did.
No, Michael has,
not
told me,
rule.
Michael has told me 100 times that I could pick a movie that I
Yeah,
haven't seen,
Michael
and I
has
keep
told
saying,
you.
that's stupid. If I have to pick a movie because I don't even know if it's good, and blah blah blah. And then I thought but because I got Rachel to pick this one, this circumvents my own personal.
See,
rule.
this is the I can't. Okay.
It is no. It's never been a rule, Insha.
It's
We
always.
always could have.
I know. This is the
No.
thing. I have done it before, and then you guys have hounded me. Not you. Not
You're
not
wrong.
you, Tim. Not you. I'm gonna take
No,
you out of here.
you're wrong.
Like you
You're
and Billy
wrong.
have hounded me before about like, oh, you
No.
haven't even seen this movie. Why would you pick it? And it's like because I want to see it, and I want to see it with
That
friends.
never happened once. Name the movie that happened on.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
You
because
did
it
so
never
many.
happened. I have no problem. The only time I have a problem is when you pick a fucking movie and then you're like, oh wait, I have seen that, like Sunshine.
I didn't pick that movie.
It's the complete
I didn't even
opposite.
pick that movie. Aaron picked that movie.
No, but the reason it was picked was because you hadn't seen it.
Oh.
And then it turned
Well,
out
then
you
that's
had
not
seen
my problem. That's Aaron's problem.
it. It is your problem because how is it Aaron's problem when you were like, I haven't seen it? He's like, oh, then I pick it, and then you're like, I have seen it.
I
Good job,
regularly
Aaron.
forgot that it was my That's not my problem. That's Aaron's problem.
It is your problem. How is that Aaron's problem?
Remember what movies you watch?
No, you're crazy. You're crazy.
Isn't that the one that she wrote a term paper on?
It is.
It is. Insane. No, you can pick. No one has ever had a problem with. As long as one of us hasn't seen it, that's all that matters to me.
Speaking
it's the
of
opposite that I don't like.
Speaking of that, this just reminded me about. So when I was in, I think grade 11, we had to do like a presentation on books that we read. You had to read 3 books.
Oh, here we
throughout
go,
the year.
Grandpa. One of his old war stories.
And I don't remember the 3 books I read except for A Farewell to Arms, and you had to like present about how the themes or whatever and all the whatever. Anyways, I had a visual medium at the end where it's like, and now I would like to show you this, and I showed them the clip of Evil Dead 2 where Ash cuts off his hand and the hand runs around and then he puts the bucket on it, and then all the books he puts on it, and one of them is A Farewell to Arms, which is one of the books I read for grade 11.
That's funny. I remember doing that exact same assignment, and one of my books was Alive, the true story about that soccer team that crashed in the Andes and ate each other.
Did you show Evil Dead?
Yeah. It's like, now we'll just show another clip from Evil Dead.
I just remember the English teacher watching the entire clip, looking at me, trying to wonder why I would show this for my book report until that one punchline came in.
I remember when I did media studies, we brought in a clip that we liked from a movie, and the clip I chose, because I was, I don't know, 16 at the time, so of course it was Pulp Fiction, like a fucking white douchebag that I was. But
I
I was
wasn't
like,
Fight Club.
Ooh,
yeah, you're right. Yeah. I mean, they're great movies, but it's such a cliche to pick.
Yeah.
But it was the scene where John Travolta accidentally shoots Marvin's head off in the back of the car. Did you ever do anything cool in high school? Because we didn't.
No.
You're like, yeah, I had sex and did drugs.
I did the second part of that. I didn't remember the first.
She wrote a term paper about
No, that was
sunshine.
college. It was college.